Hello and namaste. Welcome to the Alchemy of Gentle Yoga class. So, if you watch the introduction video, you know that you really benefit from having some support. And that support could look like a yoga block, brick, and an ordinary pillow. So we're going to go ahead and get started. We're going to start sitting. Now, if you need a modification that requires a chair, please go ahead and do that. And you may even enjoy the chair yoga videos and go in that direction. Or if you have a student that's where their starting point is, all right? But here in gentle yoga, first let's just get our legs set up. Let's try Sukhasana. And that's where our shins are crossed. So shin from the knee all the way down to the ankle, this whole area here. Different than the ankle. I'm going to just point to the ankle, right? That's the whole area. So we avoid having anybody sit like this with ankles crossed, knees higher than their hips, and everything collapsed. This is the worst case scenario. So we want to help people not sit like this. So instead, shins are crossed and our feet and ankles, feet are flexed. So if you imagine pulling your toes back just like that, rather than pointed and extended. And knee, ankle, ankle, knee, this sort of arrangement. And then sitting on the edge of the pillow rather than sitting straight on top of it. So let me come off to the side. Here we go. If somebody's just sitting on top of the pillow or whatever little meditation cushion they might have, then this makes no difference. They might as well just be sitting on the floor, right? So instead, if you can see this, we want to be supported with our sit bones on something higher so that it elevates and it makes it easier for us to get that pelvic lumbar rhythm that's known as anterior tilt, where we have a curve that should be naturally occurring in our low back, the lumbar area of the spine. So when you have something to sit on, then you can tilt the pelvis in that anterior tilt more easily, especially if you're very stiff and haven't had a lot of mobility in the low back area. So make sure that people know how to sit with comfort. And then knees and ankles are off in the front. And the idea is that our hip bones are higher than our knees. That's always the intention. So not this, but like this, okay? So I'm going to come back and I'm going to sit on the edge of the pillow. And I'm like falling forward. It's literally taking my pelvic bowl and tilting it forward. If you imagine a soup bowl, and you could either turn the bowl and towards you, the soup comes to this front edge closest to you, or you turn the bowl away from you and the soup in the bowl goes away, the furthest edge away from you, right? So that's what we want to do. We want to tilt the pelvis, and you can put your low hand on your low back and make sure that you have a curve there, because that should be there, like for humans in general. And for a lot of people that have stiffness, they've been sitting a lot, poor posture, rounded over, they don't even know that that curve's supposed to be there. So we want to help them put it back. So Sukhasana is the Sanskrit name. In English, often referred to as easy pose. Be careful not to refer to this pose in any term that would be a cultural appropriation or a slang term or degrading to any marginalized group, okay, especially indigenous people. I've seen teachers of kids yoga refer to this as crisscross applesauce as well. So I don't know if that's an American thing, but there's that. But easy pose, although needs some support. Knees are lower than the hip bones. And the other option is to put ankle in front of ankle, knees wide. So now they're like really long in this direction horizontally. Before, everything was moving forward. Sukasana and this one's Siddhasana. So some people might find this comfortable, but it requires a great deal of flexibility in the hips, strong core strength all the way around the corset, around the body, and then even some flexibility in the feet because we're in Padmapada, right? So to get started, it might be easier just to give people the one option, and let's move into Sukhasana. Now with gentle yoga, I want to make the distinction that there are healthy beginners and then there are beginner students that are new to fitness, new to exercise. They haven't exercised for a lot of years. And there's also the healthy beginners. They run 10 miles a day. They cycle to work. They take a Pure Barre class 5 times a week. They lift weights. I mean, that person just doesn't know yoga poses, right? But they certainly know fitness, and very likely their proprioception, where's my arm in space? Is it halfway to the side? Oh, there is halfway, right? Is likely pretty good compared to somebody that's new to fitness, all right? New to just moving the body and having some somatic expression. So just keep in mind that gentle yoga, accessible yoga is going to be appropriate for both those groups, but there's a midline to that, right? And what this is not, it is not restorative yoga. It is not yin yoga. It's not just slower version of a power yoga class. It's not that and not those intentions whatsoever. It's meant to be accessible. It's meant to be for that person that is a healthy beginner or an advanced student or somebody practicing 20 years, but just wants a more gentle version of yoga today, because Ayurvedically, every day is different, all right? And it's also for those that are new and coming into the practice to learn the yoga basics. And when I had a couple studios, that's actually what I called the entry-level class, was yoga basics, because everybody could benefit from those types of classes. So here we go. The beginning is just sitting and having a chance to have your heart see their heart, look at their faces, introduce yourself, make sure that you're having a really safe, all-embracing, very inclusive energy, safe environment that you're creating. And it's nice to be upright because, let's say, they're newer. Now, I've been talking quite a long time because this is a training video, but normally we wouldn't stay here long, all right? You would do the introduction of your theme here. You would introduce yourself. You might have them introduce themselves to each other, and then we would begin. So sit tall, and then start to gaze down the tip of your nose to a spot on the floor, just out there in front of you. If somebody sees you, it almost looks like your eyes are closed, but they're about at half mast. This is the Ananda Drishti, the Drishti of bliss, the gazing of bliss. This is how we look at a beloved, a lover. This is how we look at something beautiful we're enamored with, a beautiful sunset or a sunrise. Ananda means bliss. The drishti, the gazing of bliss. And then if people are comfortable, invite them to close their eyes or stay at the previous option. This is known as vinyasa krama. We start where we are and honor that, and then we continue to develop and grow. And so giving them an opportunity to make a break from where they've been to where they are now. Now start to open your eyes and bring your right hand to your low belly, left hand to your heart. From here, breathe into your low belly till the belly puffs up. And then exhale, bring it back in. 2 more times, just into the low belly. We're going to practice now what's called 3-part breath, Durga Pranayama. The Sanskrit language is just another language. It's said to be the oldest. So we'll be bilingual, but just know that it's not meant to be intimidating or scary. Now, next time you breathe into your belly, move the breath higher, all the way to your middle ribs and all the way to this top hand. And then exhale, feel your chest soften, your rib cage contract, and your hand will move back as your belly button goes to your spine. Inhale again, low belly, move your hand to the ribs, mid-lungs, all the way to your left hand. Exhale from the top. Now feel that middle hand, rib cage contracts. Move your hand to your belly, pull your belly button in. Inhale, expand low, middle, upper lungs. Exhale, top, middle, lower lungs. Keep breathing just like this, 3 more times, in and out through your nose. The breath has a natural filtration system when you breathe at least some part in or out through your nose. In this breathing situation, we're breathing in and out both through our nose to cleanse the air, to purify it. And then let your hands rest. And close your eyes again for a moment. Now, while they have their eyes closed, this is a good opportunity for you to move off your prop if you're choosing to use props. Make sure that you have other props set up, right? So I'll have 1 brick about midway. And now open your eyes, you guys. And let's take a little twist to the right. So right hand just comes behind us, left hand to our right knee. Take a little twist. Inhale, look center. Exhale, come back to center. And then left hand behind us. And then our right hand to our left knee, taking a little twist. So we're going to do more of this, but lying down. Inhale, center with your head. Exhale, release. All right. Let's start to bring ourselves into a little ball. And if you do have a brick, just put it about halfway back so it's already there. And then once you're on one side, curl all the way down into a little ball. Yeah. And then safely come onto your back. As you come onto your back, just draw your shoulder blades a little bit underneath you so your chest feels more upright and lifted. And knees are above ankles as best we can. As best we can. You can't see them, but just try to feel it out. Now, this is a preparation for a pose called bridge. And knees bent allows us to rest our low back on the ground more easily. This is a different tilt. This is posterior tilt. And now open your feet a little bit wider, toes in, and let your knees fall together. This is called constructive rest. This pose right here, just like this. And if at any time you need a break from the practice, especially if your low back is tender, you could do this constructive rest at any time. Or extend your legs to the outer corners, toes just relax out. And you could always do this pose if you need a break. And this is called Shavasana. It's the very last pose that we do in every class. And then from trying that out, walk your feet back in. Nice. Knees more or less above ankles. And then inhale, reach your right arm up towards the ceiling and then all the way behind you. Touch the ground. Exhale, reach it back up and lower it to its starting position. Switch to the left arm. Inhale, left arm like a lever straight up, all the way over, tap, and then exhale, bring the arm down. Inhale, reach your right arm up and over again. We're just going to alternate. Now, as you continue exhaling, if your breath is longer than mine that I'm cueing or shorter, you're welcome to stay with that. Inhaling left arm. Low back is on the ground. Exhaling left arm. Inhale right arm and turn towards your left ear. Exhale, straighten your head, lower the arm. Inhale left arm and turn your head to the right. And then exhale, bring the arm down. Try that just one more time with me, but you're welcome to do many more times whenever you want to. And last time, arm down, inhale both arms. Exhale, lower your arms. Try to connect the movement to the breath. Inhale, we lift. 1, 2, 3, 4. Touch down, end of the breath. 5. Exhale, we lower. 5, 4, 3, 2, and arrive on 1. And so the breaths are balanced, equal in duration. So now from here, we could pause and now inhale. Lift your arms, lift your hips. Exhale, lower your arms and your hips at the same time. Inhale everything up. Doesn't have to be high. Exhale everything down. Nice and easy. Last time, inhale, everything lifts up. And now just exhale, lower your arms. You could bring that brick or even a little pillow to its lowest height and just rest it below your waist in your sacrum. Sacrum is a triangular shape, so it's nice and sturdy. And we can stay here. Just 3, 4, 5 deep breaths, looking around and just evaluating, like, how long do people look like they're restful in this inversion? This is an upside down pose. So perhaps in another class, your upside down home base pose might be a lot of downward dog, but in this case, a little bit more gentle approach. And then let's say we've stayed there, and then lift your hips, move the brick, and come on down. From here, bring that same brick in between your inner thighs. If they need to come closer to do that, just sneak it in. Or it could be a little ball, or it could be a thick book or a pillow. Now from here, open your arms, not like a T, but more like a cactus. All right? And palms are facing up. This externally rotates the upper arms. And this is getting a little bit of a wrist stretch and a shoulder stretch. And it's a little easier for the shoulders than putting the arms straight out. Now press low back into the ground. Pull belly in. Inhale, lift your feet off the ground. Knees come towards you. Exhale, your knees a little to the right. Squeeze the brick. Inhale, center. And exhale a little bit to the left. Squeezing the brick is going to give you stability in the sacrum and strength in the low back. Inhale, center. Exhale, go to the right again. So if you carry pain in your low back, inhale, center. A couple more each side. This is going to help relieve some of that pain. And each time, if you wish, you could go a little bit deeper. But again, remember, you don't have to do it all today. And pay attention to your face. Take all the effort off your face. So if you go so far that your face tenses, you hold your breath, then it's not worth it. Yeah, it's not worth it. And these are high repetition. Just getting used to our body. And then back to center. Nice. Now let your arms just come down towards your legs. Couple deep breaths. And then feet to the ground, but first take that brick. And you could do constructive rest, or all the way legs out, Shavasana for a moment. Big breath through your nose. Deep breath out. And then open your eyes. And if your legs are out, walk them in. If your knees are together in constructive rest, separate them. And just come with the feet parallel, even, knees above our ankles. Okay? So now let's see if we can put some of those different parts all together. Inhale, lift your arms and your hips all at the same time. Exhale, lower your arms and your hips. Open your arms like a cactus. Inhale, draw your knees towards you. Exhale, move your knees a little to the right. Inhale, bring them back to center. Exhale, a little bit to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, soft landing, feet to the ground. Arms come down next to us. So that was an earth salutation. And we're going to connect the breath with the movement in a series of postures that we just practiced individually. So let's start again. And we'll just do that more than once, more than twice, at least 3 times. Inhale, lift your arms, lift your hips. Keep length in your low back, glutes are strong. Exhale, arms and hips lower, touch at the same time. Inhale, cactus your arms, feet lift into the air. Exhale, knees together, go a little bit to the right. Or all the way down. Inhale, center. And somewhere to the left, however far or a little bit. Inhale, center. Exhale, touch down, feet and arms. We start again. Inhale. Glutes are strong, lift everything up. Stretch from your pinky fingers all the way to your pinky toes. Exhale, lower your body all the way down. Inhale, arms like a cactus, knees left. Exhale to the right. Inhale, center. Exhale to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, come back the way we started. Inhale, low back is on the ground. Lift everything and extend in both directions. Exhale, lower everything down. Inhale, knees lift, cactus your arms. Exhale, squeeze your knees to the right. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, over to the left. Inhale, center. Exhale, feet to the ground, arms lower down. Take a big breath in. Open mouth, exhale. Hands to your low belly. And just 2 rounds, all this 3-part breath. Breathe in your low lungs, travel the breath to the middle, all the way to the upper lungs. Exhale, top, middle, bottom. 1 more. Inhale, low, middle, upper lungs. Exhale, upper, middle, low back to the ground. Pull belly in, lower lungs. Nice. And let the breath just be in the background, but conscious of your breathing. And we'll draw our knees in again and take our hands either to the backs of the thighs or to the fronts of the thighs. And from here, make little circles, or you could go side to side, or you could make a little figure 8, right? So try to find some part of your low back that doesn't feel like it's received a massage. And you can't do this wrong. So if it's circles, it's circles. If it's a figure 8, if it's in some other different shape, just find some part of your low back that you're trying to iron out, like it has wrinkles. I went to a military school and we would have to actually make our beds each morning, and we would get judged and graded upon that. So it was all about getting the wrinkles out. So that's what we're doing with our low back and the sides. And then once you're ready, feet to the ground. And I know that sometimes people will rock and roll back and forth, but that can be kind of harsh. So instead, just roll to your favorite side and then press one hand down at a time to help yourself come up. Okay? Make sure if you feel dizzy that you just look down and you take your time. There's no hurry and no worry whatsoever. And then from here, let's start to come into all fours. Now, spread your hand bones so that your hands are like little starfish. Pinky fingers to the long sides of the mat. And make sure your knees are not too close nor too far away, but our knees are right underneath our hips. The knees are hips distance apart, and our hands are shoulders distance apart. So knees are closer together than our hands are apart. All right? Now with that pelvic tilt, let's figure that out. So here, tilt your pelvis so that you're pressing your thighs back, and let your low back actually feel like it's softening and your chest is opening. And so here's anterior tilt. Sit bones are high, thighs are pressing back, and now your pelvis moves in the other direction. Now press your thighs forward, and that creates a rounded shape and lifts your low back and your whole back to the ceiling. And now reverse that. Go back to that anterior tilt, pressing your bum back, sit bones wide, and then exhale. Thighs forward, pelvis moves forward, posterior tilt. Inhale, anterior tilt. Exhale, posterior tilt. Now you could start to add your head, neck, and shoulders into this motion. When you round, tuck your ears inside your upper arms, if it's available. And then open your throat a little bit when you're in the anterior tilt, that puppy tilt. And then close your throat when you're in cat pose. Open your throat, open your collarbones, open your heart in puppy. Exhale, cat. Don't create any strain. So if the head, neck, and shoulders don't want to participate today, that's okay. Just do the pelvic tilt. And then find things nice and even. Pause, take a big breath, and then breathe out your mouth. Now inhale, prepare. Exhale, let your left forearm come to the ground. Look right. That's a twist. Inhale, lift your left elbow up off the ground. And then exhale, right elbow down. Look a little left. Inhale, verticalize your arms straight up and down. Exhale, left elbow lowers. Inhale, center. 2 more times. Exhale, right elbow down. Look left, getting a neck stretch and a little spinal stretch. Now this time, left elbow down. You could stay here or turn your left palm open to reach and slide your left arm underneath, left cheek and shoulder to the ground. If that seems far away, then you could use a brick and put your head on it. Yeah? You could use a brick for your shoulder as well, or your head and shoulder on the ground. This is called thread the needle. And normally we would stay here for longer than what you think, to let people just really relax. Press down into your right hand carefully without any weight in your neck. Come back. Exhale, right elbow down, looking left. Inhale, center. Exhale, left elbow down, looking right. So this is dynamic movement. It's 1-to-1 breath ratio. Now next time right elbow is down, stay here. An amazing place, you're getting all the same benefits. Or palm open, reaching to the left. And again, we could use the brick under neck or shoulder, right there. Or slide your right hand, right cheek and shoulder to the ground. Try to keep your hips even, and the weight is in the hand that's on the ground. It's never in your neck. So never ever in your neck. And then long, deep breaths. This is a great place to theme and tap into the theme for your class. And we would stay here longer. But think of this as marking the class. Press into your left hand. Inhale, come back to all fours. Nice. Exhale, just get steady and even. Now bring your knees a little closer together and then sit back a little bit. Relax both your elbows. Palms might turn up for a moment. If this is uncomfortable, too much tension in your knees or any knee pain, of which there's no such good thing as good knee pain, then just don't go back as far. But just getting a little rest for our hands and our wrists. Just a moment. Okay. And then palms come back. Nice. Now from here, keep your knees more together. We're like a little tripod. And reach your right toes back on the mat behind you. This tells you that your hips are balanced and even. And that triangular part of your sacrum is still balanced too. Now come into your left fingertips if you want. Stay there. Walk your left fingertips forward. And we could stay right here. Your right heel is pressing in one direction. Our left fingertips are pressing to the other. Or if you want, right leg lifts no higher than your hip. Tone your belly. And if you want, left arm lifts. Palm in for external rotation of the upper arm. Thumb up. One long line of energy. Spinal balance. Look at one single point so that you don't lose balance. Take a breath. Exhale, left hand down, right knee down. Make sure that you have stability. And then curl your toes and then press back a little bit or a lot. So when we press back, our arms are no longer straight up and down, right? So like when we're forward, that's called vertical. Here, our wrists are more flat. And there's a pose in yoga called downward dog, where our arms are in the same shape, like Superman or Superwoman. And we're getting a toe stretch with the toes under. Now come back. Come back. Neutral pelvis. Neither anterior tilt or posterior tilt, but just nice and even. Undo your toes. Squeeze your knees so that you know that's the middle of your body. Hands stay equidistant. And then left toes reach back. Keep leaning the weight forward. Get your balance. Just notice what that's like. And then come into your right fingertips only if it serves you today. And walk your right hand forward. And just stretch. Left heel pressing back and inner right arm pressing forward all the way into our fingertips. So we're not just pushing back or pushing forward, but we're doing some of both. And you could stay here or lift your left leg. Foot is flexed and our toes are aimed down. Belly is strong. Or right thumb up and lift your right arm. Keep using your glutes. Tone your belly. Pelvis is neutral. Inhale. Exhale, right hand down, left knee down. Curl your toes, press back. Nice. Take a big breath in. And then exhale. Take a brick, put it towards the back of your mat, so it's already preset, and walk your hands just nice and easy towards your knees. We're going to orient to the back of your mat. Toes are under already. And gently lift your knees, lift your hips, and you could be with your knees deeply bent. If the ground feels far, just put the brick underneath your hands in front of your feet already, and relax your neck. So this is forward fold, Uttanasana. Your legs could start to straighten. You could keep using the brick. It might turn to its lower height. You might use your fingertips on the ground. If you're not using the brick, move it to the side. And then hands to your waist. Inhale, lift up through a flat back. All the way up. And then exhale, lower your arms. And then turn your palms to face out. That rotates your upper arm externally, so your shoulders move back. And we want that rather than the arm internally rotated and the shoulders hunched. So just that simple movement. Feet are parallel and hips distance, so the outside edges are parallel and even. And this is called mountain pose. So we will do a modified version of Sun Salutation A. Inhale, your arms out to the sides. Exhale, hands to the heart. And just create an intention if it helps you. We're going to move and breathe and just get some circulation. Circulation to move energy in our life through our body. Take a big breath in. Exhale, release your hands. All right, we begin. Inhale, arms could just go out to a T, or they could go all the way up. But if it hurts your shoulders up, just to a T. Exhale, hands to your waist. Fingers towards your belly, thumbs towards your back. Squeeze your elbows. Inhale, lift your chest. Exhale, little bend in the knees through the flat extended spine like the letter L. And then at the last moment, hands to the ground. Back to forward fold. Inhale, nice slow walk forward with your hands. And then let your knees come down, table. Exhale. Inhale, cow pose, that anterior tilt, shining your sit bones up. Exhale, rounding, cat pose. Inhale, back to the anterior tilt. Exhale, sit towards your heels, let your head come down. It's the beginning of child's pose, but with less tension on the knees. Inhale, walk your hands back towards your knees. We've done this before. Exhale, press into your feet, forward fold. Hands find our waist. Inhale through that flat back, all the way up. Exhale, release your hands, palms forward. And that was one entire Sun Salutation A in a modified form. Let's do it again. Inhale, arms either out to the sides or all the way up. Exhale, squeeze everything in, elbows back. Inhale, open your chest. Exhale, lead with your heart through that long spine. Hands to the ground. Inhale, walk your hands forward, almost as if we were going to do a down dog or a push-up. Exhale, knees to the ground. Now land them at the same time, not one and then the other. Inhale, cow pose or puppy pose, the little back bend. Exhale, big Halloween cat. Inhale, opening your chest. Exhale, sit bones back, head towards the ground, or with time, your forehead might come to the ground. And we could take as many breaths as we want, maybe 3, maybe 4, maybe 5. And then we would lift our head if it's on the ground. Inhale, walk backwards. Exhale, pour forward into your feet, forward fold. Your trusty brick is always there if you need it. Hands find your waist, use your back muscles, push down into your feet. Inhale, throat is open, coming up. Engage your glutes. Exhale, shiny and bright, palms open. Again, inhale, arms either out halfway or to the sky. Exhale, hands find our waist. Inhale, engage your back muscles. Exhale, press your thighs back, sit bones high, folding forward, always in the exhale. Inhale, walking our hands forward. Exhale, knees to the ground. Inhale, puppy or cow pose. Exhale, cat. Again, you don't have to overdo it. Inhale, cow. And then exhale, child's pose. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. Inhale, walk your hands backwards. Exhale, like water pouring into a glass, pour forward, finish the exhale. Hands, contract everything to your waist. Pull belly in. Inhale, come up nice and strong and safe. Exhale, release. Take a big breath in, deep breath out. Hands just come together at our heart. Check in. If you get dizzy, don't close your eyes, keep them open. Or if you want, close your eyes for a moment. And then open your eyes. And then we're going to face the long side of the mat. So as you come to the center of the long side of the mat, take a wide stance. And what is wide? Well, let's figure it out. First of all, though, the foundation, the part of the body touching the ground, always the most important. Toes angle in. This gives your legs an internal rotation in both of them. Now inhale, open your arms like a T, like we've practiced in Sun Salutation A. And then flex your hands. So like you're saying, stop in the name of love. Now wherever your heel of your hand stops, that's exactly where the outside edge of your heel should be. So if I have my legs like this, then that's not far enough apart, okay? So it's a little bit of proprioception, like to know where we are in space at first, like, oh, okay, whoa, that's wider than what I thought it would be. And then relax your arms. I know sometimes the arms get a little tired that way. Now hands find your waist. Remember that part that we've done in the modified Sun Salutation A. Now turn your right toes to face out, true north. Okay? Then turn them back in. Let's do a practice one on the second side. Pivot on your heel and turn your left toes out. And just see how your ankles are doing. And then turn your left toes in, right toes out. And you could practice that a couple times just to warm up your feet if you need it, right? And then let's end up with right toes out. As you find your right toes out, left toes have stayed angled in. So very good. Your waist is telling you, because your hands are nice and even, that one hip is not higher. We want to start out with nice even hips. Take a breath. Exhale, bend into your right knee. Inhale, straighten. Exhale, bend. Now, as soon as you feel a hip go higher, then it's going to lock out the hip. So don't go as deep then. Or bend both knees to clear it. If you're like, I just got locked into a weird place, bend both knees. Then straighten and bend. And that'll let you clear the hips. So your hands are giving you information that your hips are staying nice and balanced. Last time, stay there and go as deep as is available for you without strain. Inhale, arms to a T. If this causes strain, just bring your hands back to your waist and build strength over time. Now you could stay looking at the center and just make sure that everything's even. So let's look at that back hand, making sure it's not down low, but it's straight from the shoulder. Then head back to center and then look over the front hand. And this is a traditional gazing point, is to look over the front hand. This is called Warrior Two. Couple deep breaths, building strength and stability in the mind, because we're concentrating. This is a whole body pose. Inhale, straighten your leg, turn your toes in. Exhale, let your arms come down. Hands find your waist. And then turn your left toes out. They're 90 degrees, so it's like straight out to the short side of your mat. Right heel is still angled out, toes in. All right? Now take a breath. Exhale, bend your left knee. Inhale, straighten. And it's that same thing. We just go in and out, just trying it out. Building strength and flexibility, but as partners. We always want to be strong first before we're flexible. And now squeeze your elbows, pause at the depth of your knee, and make sure that one shoulder is not pushing further forward. That back shoulder wants to do that, but keep that shoulder back. Hips are facing the long edge, shoulders are facing the long edge. And then open your arms. Try it out. And again, you could look back, make sure you know where that arm is, and then we could look forward. All right? Warrior Two. Draw your navel in, open your collarbones, keep breathing, be tall in your spine. Inhale, straighten your leg, toes in. Exhale, arms relax. Right toes out again. Inhale, hands to the waist or arms out to the sides like a T. Exhale, bend. Back to Warrior Two. Nice. Now left hand to your waist. Hug your elbow back. Inhale, reach a little bit forward. And exhale, put your right elbow on your bent leg. Keep the left shoulder stacked on top of the right shoulder. This is called side angle pose. We'll be here just a couple breaths. May feel a little bit deeper. Lots of places for this one to go. Look down. Squeeze your legs. Inhale, come up. Leg straightens. And reach your right arm forward. Exhale, bring it down. Front leg is straight. And the hand inside or outside. Left hand could stay as it is, or it could go straight up. Triangle pose. The leg was like, I wish I could rest and straighten. Now notice I snuck a brick in, right? It's on its medium height. Here it is on its tallest height. And then there's also the shortest height, or no brick at all. Okay? Squeeze your legs, look down. Inhale, come up. Exhale, toes in. Relax your arms. Now, left toes out. And I'm looking, do I have a second brick, or do I need to move that first brick and just have it preset in case I need it for triangle pose, okay? The props, like we said at the start, everything's in your great support. So inhale, open your arms like a T. Don't be afraid to take up space. Exhale, bend your knee. Virabhadrasana 2. Inhale here. Exhale, right hand to your waist. Squeeze your elbow back. Inhale, reach like you're starting the pose in your back outer pinky toe. Exhale, left elbow to your bent leg and squeeze your elbow back. Right shoulder, top shoulder is above your bottom left shoulder. This pose, side angle pose, Parsvakonasana, is actually considered a twist. So, couple deep breaths. I know you're working hard in your legs to build strength and feel this whole diagonal shape. Oh my goodness. Now look down, push into your feet, but squeeze your legs together. And then inhale with control, come up, front leg straightens, left arm reaches out, all the way. Exhale, hand comes down on your shin, but try not to lock your knee. Or you could use the brick, tall, medium, or low. And this top hand, why we're keeping your right arm there is so that your shoulders stay stacked, just like they were in side angle pose. And only if you want to, reach up. But if that causes strain in your neck, your shoulder, that's maybe a place where you carry tension, not necessary. And then looking up, no magic there. Look forward, look down. Yeah, you don't have to look up. Look where it causes less strain in your neck. Last couple moments, keep your breath. Look down if you're not, squeeze your legs. Inhale, come up. Exhale, toes in. Take a big breath. Exhale, lean forward and touch the ground. If the ground is far away, you could put the brick right underneath your hands, right? And lift the ground to you. Toes are still angled in and stay long, just like this. Now, if you want to go a little bit deeper, then you could move the brick, bring your hands to the ground, and start to take your head towards the ground. Eventually, the top of your head will come down, and elbows will be bent. But from a flat back to here, it might take 10 years. So no hurry, no worry. If you're down low, lift your head. Nice. And then nice and easy, heel toe your feet. Just slow as you want to go. Closer and closer until they're more shoulders distance apart. And we've just been inverted. Our head was lower than our heart. So we want to be careful with any low blood pressure. If you need your brick under your hands, it's there. And carefully bend one knee down and then the other. We're still to the long side of the mat. And then sit back on your heels. Make sure you feel safe. Gazing the ground, that you're not dizzy, that you're okay. And then from here, start to come into one hip or the other. Just pause for a moment. Let that hip relax. And then once you feel like, yes, all right, come on down. We practiced this at the beginning to come down nice and safe. And we'll come onto our back again. Legs bent. We've done this before. Knees above ankles. And let's draw our right knee in for a moment And then external rotation, just aim the knee out, crossing the ankle below the left knee. Foot is flexed. And with your right hand, you can encourage the knee to open into the pocket of the hip. Never at the knee, not so strong at joints, but down away from it, or the hip joint, anywhere there. And this is pigeon on our back. In Warrior Two and side angle, it was like this in the front leg, external rotation. And the other leg was internal rotation. Now you could stay here if you're having a hip opening experience, or you could lift your left foot off the ground. It delivers the right leg a little closer, right hand between the hole of your legs, left hand outside the left thigh, and your hands might clasp. You might use a strap, to connect the hands, and keep pressing right knee away. If you needed more sensation, hands could come to the shins, and you would keep drawing things closer and closer, but not necessary. These would be long holds, 5, 7 breaths, 10 breaths. We're not doing as many. Left foot to the ground, nice and easy, right? And now bring your leg all the way over like you were going to cross your legs sitting at a table. Move your hips just a little bit to the right side. Arms like a cactus. Take a breath. And then exhale. Let gravity just help your knees just move to the left. This is a different twist, and it's more of a piriformis IT band stretch, just getting a different part of the body. If you need some support, you could put a brick underneath that outer knee, and this would be long holds again. You could also stretch your arms like in a big diamond shape over your head. That feels good. Versus straight lines and strain, just curves. And in physics, curves are stronger than straight lines. From this little eagle leg twist, inhale, bring your legs back, unravel your right leg, hips to the center, lower your arms, and then just relax your legs. Either constructive rest, take a big breath, exhale out your mouth, or Shavasana, practicing this pose over and over because this is the last pose in a yoga class. Shavasana, final relaxation. And then walk your feet in. So the more that we get to practice that, then maybe the more we start to create this pattern where the body resonates and attributes like relaxation with that pose. Now from here, left knee comes in. If you feel like there's any stiffness, you could always make some little circles first, lubricate the hip joint, and then rotate the knee out. This is external rotation. Internal rotation, external, away from the midline. It's now in a state of abduction. Squeezing to the center, adduction. Abduction, and then ankle below the right knee. And then you can just press your left knee away. Foot is flexed, never sickled, so that we're not overstretching or understretching the knee. Amazing to stay here. Just breathe space into the hips, release the tensions in the hips, and then therefore release tensions in the low back. If you need more sensation, then right foot lifts, and it might just be this, right? Just this. Or right hand outside, left hand between the hole of the legs, and then the hands clasp right here in the belly of the main hamstring, biceps femoris, and left knee presses away while we draw the right thigh in, away and in at the same time. And you control the volume. You control like how much sensation is here. But we try to play an edge in yoga that stays away from like the hardest edge, like volume 9 or 10. We also don't want to be at volume 0 or 1, because if it's too much, we'll get frustrated and give up. If it's too little, we'll get bored and give up. So find the middle path. If you're holding the leg, let the right foot come back down. Yeah, just pause for a moment, feel that. And now, from external rotation, just slide the left thigh over. This is eagle legs, or it's how you might sit cross-legged at dinner. And then press into your feet and move your hips a little to the left, more to the opposite side of the mat. Arms like a big cactus, take a breath. And then exhale, let your knees come down to the right. Now, this is great. You'll feel a stretch in a different way. If it's too much, you could put a pillow or a little brick and it'll support it so you can feel enough, but not too much. So you decide. And these bricks have the different heights. So as your body releases, then you could change the height on there, okay? And arms could be in that nice like V shape, or they can stay like a little cactus. Long holds. So again, these are like 10 breath holds. Focusing on releasing tension. This is a great time to tap back into the theme. If we were in person and we had permission, we might be doing some enhancements, some physical assisting, or not. And then after those 10 breaths, inhale, come back to center. Move your hips back to the middle. Exhale, left foot comes down. Arms come down. And then from here, if you do 2 pigeons and you put them together, they equal a cobbler. So if you put this shape, external rotation, with this shape, external rotation, let's try it, big toes together, open your knees apart. And notice how I've put bricks underneath my knees to support myself and make it feel better and not so intense. And hands could be like on the belly, that deep diaphragmatic breath that we practice from the beginning, or anywhere that feels good, right? And we would be here 10, 15 breaths, long time. Releasing, relaxing all the stories and the tensions from the hips that are the junk drawer of the body, where frustration and anger and impatience go. And so hip openers, we're releasing all of those emotions so that we're more patient, we're less frustrated, less cranky, more kind. And then after that, like 10, 15 breaths, use your hands to help your knees come back together. And then bring your knees towards you. And you could give yourself a little final hug or make gentle little circles or side to side. But the last pose we do before Shavasana, we always make sure is in the middle. Like this one that we're doing. This is upward facing child's pose. It's child's pose, and we have the strong flexion of our knees, but without bearing all of our weight on our knees and our shins. Same benefits. And this is symmetrical. It's in the middle. So we would stay here a few breaths, and then feet to the ground. And then remind everybody that they can do constructive rest, or walk your feet to the outer corners of your mat now. Shoulder blades come underneath. Palms open for that external rotation of the upper arms. And this is final relaxation. And you can go through all sorts of different relaxation techniques, like the squeeze and release, and talk through the progression, or talk through a visualization. Many scripts are provided to help you. And this, of course, long time. This is not a 3-breath moment or even 10. Think longer. And because you've helped people practice Shavasana multiple times, then this should feel like a good friend, like your favorite sweater. And then let's say we've been here a while. I'd like to invite you to bring awareness to your fingers, rubbing your thumb along your fingers. That you are so unique. No one else in the world is like you. And then take your hands to your low belly where this whole thing started. Deep diaphragmatic breath. Slowing down the breath to slow down our life so it doesn't pass us by so quickly. And then left hand to the heart like we started. Right hand to the belly. 2 rounds of 3-part breath. Low, middle, upper lungs. And breathing out from the top, the middle, the belly. And 1 more. Low, middle, upper lungs. And breathing out, Durga Pranayama. Bring your palms to touch at your heart. Know that at any time in your day when you need to calm down or reset, you can practice that breathing technique. No one will even know. And we'll end class here in the ultimate balance pose of Shavasana. Wherever your body's touching the ground, just balancing there. And ending class with an acknowledgement of all that you've accomplished, all that you attempted, and that you very much are exactly where you should be. Inhale, big breath in. Deep breath out. And you could lead them in the sound of Om, or if that's not appropriate, then have your signature closure. Inhale to Om. Om. From my heart to your heart, may you love yourself, love your day, and love your life. Muchísimas gracias, grazie mille, teremakasi, suksama, dankashen, merci beaucoup, komang, tak, thank you. And so whatever your signature closure is, and you have to decide if you think it's appropriate to say namaste at the end or not. And what I found in gentle yoga classes is ending here is kind of very sweet. And then I'll say something like this. The formal part of the class is done. The real yoga starts when you leave this room. And please take all the time you need to make your transition into the rest of your day. I'll be up front happy to answer questions and always to receive you and see you and know and hear your stories about how you're feeling now. Know that I really appreciate you for being here. And so that's how I might end class. So that is a talked through Alchemy Gentle Yoga class plan. And if we were doing it to time, it wouldn't take this long. But this version is, as you know, meant to provide instruction and some sort of construct around what is happening, why it's happening, and also to give you some really beautiful, rich cues that you can make your own. And you could feel the pacing, the conversational style, the ease, the holding of space. I hope that all of those things came through, and that through the prism of your own experience, that you can create environments that make yoga accessible to all people, and that we are able to actually be of service to people. And there's time. So it's more about quality than quantity of poses. It may have seemed like we didn't do a lot, but I can guarantee you that, one, the poses need not be exotic, strange, weird, or unusual to be effective. And we really don't need that many poses to bring healing and goodness and delight into people's lives. So happy that you are studying this and that you are here, and just know I love you so much. Peace, everybody.